brand new episode here on Riverbend Springs. So you'll remember from the last episode we got that grass field cut, and we also learned that cut grass is a tractor's kryptonite apparently, because I couldn't move when I was in the cut grass, but the tractor would operate them perfectly well when I was on the uncut grass, which is a bit weird to me. But anyway, it's just another one of those things about this new game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it, because I've been playing it a little bit more, because I seem to have kind of graphically got it set up a little bit so as it's actually running okay. So I'm going to play it a little bit more, and then because I did a first impressions, and then after I've played it, sort of solidly for about a month or so, ignore the machines. We're going to do some contracting, but we've come down here because we need a windrower. That reminds me, actually, I was meant to check this first. Food, silage 80 and hay 80. Okay. Yeah, we'll do silage. And the only reason we'll do silage is because I only need to hire 2 machines. Now I'm going to have to hire them because unfortunately I don't have the money. Right, we will go for that one. Blimey, they've kept it in the shop. It's a real bugbear of mine. We'll hire the baler as well while we're here. We may as well. Right, bale wrap. Yeah. I'm guessing with that it comes full. So yeah, we'll lease the baler. This is not money that I didn't really want to be spending, but the game's kind of in a way forced me to spend it because, as I say, it started as with cows and then sort of said, by the way, you've got cows, but we're not giving you no food, no baler, no mower, no nothing. Like, you literally are going to have to waste all of your money. So that's why we're doing a few contracts, and as I say, contracts will play quite a large part of our early gameplay, because we're really going to need a teleporter, a telehandler as well. So yeah, as I say, we're going to need a few things, and we're running out of money now. But never mind. As I say, once I get this once I get this grass off this field being ploughed, and then we'll keep the grass close to home. That way, we haven't got the travelling with it. We haven't got, we can literally just take the bales off the field, and then, we've only got to just move them a little way to the cow pen. And we can even store them in the cow pen, and they'll just automatically keep filling the trough as a little bit of grass gets eaten. I mean, there isn't many cows there at the moment, which is fine, and if I had the money I would actually get a few more cows, because you may as well, if you're going to do it, you may as well make it worthwhile doing, do you know what I mean? Like, so, but excuse me, that that's not an option at the moment, because as I say, we still need one or two little bits of kit, and what we can't afford to do is to leave ourselves with nothing. I mean, I'm quite happy to take out loans and stuff, so it's not that I'm reluctant to do loans and things like that. That's no problem. So if we really do need something desperately, we'll just take the loan out for it, as long as by the end of the save we've paid all the loan off. Then as I say, I don't really have a problem with it. The other thing that I have a bit of an issue with, and I don't know whether this is a thing or not, but this is how I've interpreted it, is that I don't know what it is with that sign, look, but every time I drive past it, it does that. Yeah, but the other thing that I've noticed as well is when you run on the grass disappears. And that wouldn't really happen in real life. And I tell you, the reason why that's going to be a bit of an issue is because I've got to run on the grass to row it. So the amount of grass that I've got now is not going to be the amount of grass I actually come to have after I've rowed it all up. But yeah, when you run on the grass, it disappears. It's like the wheels delete it, and that wouldn't really happen. Yes, you know, it would squash it down. I understand that. You know, that's perfectly acceptable and reasonable to have happen. You know, it would squash it down, but it wouldn't. You know, a real tractor doesn't delete grass when it runs on it. You know, the grass doesn't get the hump with the wheel, just disappear. It's just squashed down a bit, you know. But anyway, there we go. As I've said before, there's a lot of little things with this game that, really, you know, have we not really advanced anything then since 2009 when I started playing it? And in some aspects as well, I think the game has gone backwards a little bit. You know, I don't know. Like I said before, you know, it's a bit of a love-hate relationship, and it was only the fact that someone commented on, I can't remember if it was the first one, I think it might have been the first video or the second video, and said, like, you know, it's a great episode and they're really looking forward to the whole series, is the only reason why I've come back, because I was literally just going to ditch 2025 and think, yeah, I really wanted the P's, but I want a game I can play more than P's, do you know what I mean? You know, I want a playable map, and game, you know, not even map really at this stage, just a playable game would be nice. And anyway, I got that comment and then sort of went back in and, you know, started to just mess about with it a bit, and suddenly sort of kind of realised, actually, you know, I can get it to play okay. I can get it to play. I mean, look, this tractor is really struggling on grass, you know, just because it's cut. And yet again, they've made the lumps in the grass and the straw solid objects. They're not solid objects. A tractor can push through. I mean, geez, when we used to do the, because we, on the first farm that I worked on, we had cows. We had sheep as well, to be fair, but we had Lincolnshire red cows. And we used to do all of our grass work with the David Browns. So the 996 was on the grass cutter. The 886 was on, the 886 was on the windrower, and the 885 was on the tedder. If that was, you know, if we were doing hay sort of thing, was on the tedder. Then, you know, if we were doing silage, you know, again the 996 would be on the mower, and then the 886 would be, you know, just on the rower sort of thing, and that's how we would, you know, that's how we would do the grass and the silage for, you know, for the cows. And you know, if an 886 David Brown can run over cut grass, you know, and it not affect performance of the tractor at all, I'm pretty certain this 225 horsepower Challenger tractor can manage a bit of cut grass. But the other thing was the lumps of grass that I used to run over while I was rowing or tedding or whatever I was doing weren't solid objects. You know? But you can see by the way the tractor's reacting to they're like speed bumps, and it's like, that's not how it works. Surely the people that make a farming game actually do go and spend a little bit of time on a farm just to see how it works before recreating it in a game that they're making. It just seems, I suppose it's like everything in life, isn't it? You know, at first they made the best game they could, and that's what launched them and got them, you know, sort of recognised and got people playing. Then they carried it on because they were relatively still a new game. Now, you know, they're, what, 15 years down the line, is it? I don't know, I'm not very good at maths, but they're, you know, sort of all these years down the line, people will buy the game anyway, just because now it's Farming Simulator. And so now it's all about making features for profit rather than actually making a good playable game. You know, and that's the same with everything in life. I'm not having a go at, you know, Giants for this. That's everything in life, you know. Look at, you know, sweets and chocolate bar. Like I said, you know, you pay more, you get less. And that's what we're now getting with Farming Simulator. We've paid more for the game this time around. You know, the store's virtually empty. You know, there's hardly anything in there from last year. I'm surprised this windrow is still in there. And all these sort of, you know, really exciting features have been poorly executed. You know, and it's a shame because, You know, if they are going to, and the problem is that they always kill any competition that comes along, and so therefore they don't have to improve. You know, they don't have to improve, and that's why we get what we get. You know, it's like anything in life. You know, the best way to demonstrate to giants that we're not happy, don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. See how quickly they then start doing the things that we would like to do. See how quickly. I mean, the only reason that Terraform has come in is because of a mod. You know, they pay these developers and these programmers, you know, vast sums of money, and it took someone in their front room or their bedroom to come up with a mod where you could deform the terrain and dig it and make holes and fill the holes back in, rather than these people who had been for many years telling us, oh, you can't deform the terrain because it just kills the performance of the game engine and everything. Yet on the same game engine that they couldn't do it for, someone created a mod for it, you know, and they were able to do it, and it didn't decrease in the game's performance at all. You know, and now they've, as I say, they've done. I mean, look at this city. This tractor is bouncing like this. Anyway, I'm going to turn over to some time lapse because otherwise I'm going to get really ranty mode, and I'm in a fairly good mood today. And so far, touch wood, and I am going to keep talking to a fairly good minimum here because we all know what's happening at the moment. I talk too much, my throat begins to get sore again, and then I can't stop coughing. So as I say, I'm going to just whip over to a little bit of time lapse, and what I'm going to do is get this done. We'll then get it baled. We'll then go off and do some other things. We've got the grass field to drill, so we've got some other jobs to do as well, and then we will maybe look at starting to tackle these contracts. I won't do all of the contracts on camera, just because you're all going to get fairly fed up with me doing P's all the time. But what I will do is I will sort of start or do one maybe on camera, and then as I say, the other two I'll do off camera, and then we will also as well, once I get those contracts done, we will then move to the next month on the game, just so that as I say, we do move time forward a little bit. But you know, we've just started the save, and there's a lot to do. You know, next year, or after this harvest, and after we've got everything sort of drilled, we'll get into a bit of a flow, a little bit of a rhythm, and you know, things will start to go much smoother, and we'll be able to go through, get all of our jobs done, and move the months on fairly rapid sort of thing. So it'll work out. It's just at the moment, you know, as I say, you know, this was something that I hadn't anticipated, because I was going to get rid of the cows, and then I thought, oh, I don't know, you know, people like to see the animals and stuff in the game, and I like to use the animals anyway, and I was going to get animals again later anyway, so, you know, I sort of thought, well, actually, maybe I should just, you know, I've got animals, rather than sort of in, say, a year or two's on the game time, having to spend loads of money to re-get all the animals again. Maybe I should just use the ones I've got and build from there. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, anyway, as I say, I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse, and we'll just get this field done, and then as soon as we get this field done, you will hear from me, and we'll go and drop this off, and then together we'll probably go and pick up the baler, and then we'll ride back, and then we'll get on with baling this. So see you in a little bit. Bye for now. Right, that's got that done. Well, as I say, we'll head off back to the farm. Oh, actually, this is rented, isn't it? We don't need this again, so we'll take this back. We can go straight back to the shop. Now then, before I go a different way, can I get to the shop? No, let's go a long way around. We will go back the way we came, but yeah, that's got that finished. So That's the suspensions, the wheels, and the brakes tested. Dear me. Anyway, well, as I say, we'll go back to the shop. We will get the baler, and then we'll come back and we will get that baled. And then, as I say, we're going to need, whether I do take out a little bit of a loan, a flying sign. How about that, eh? Oh dear. By the way, you know, when I have these little rants, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a Giants hater or that, you know, I hate the game or anything like that. The actual sort of, well, Farming Sim 19 and 22, I couldn't decide between either one to which is my favourite game, or say favourite version of the game. Absolutely love them to bits, and this game has some really lovely, really good points. Like, there's things that have been done that you think, well, actually, you know, with a little bit of work, this will be a really, you know, this is going to be really awesome. And obviously, I love the peas. I love the beans. Did green beans contract yesterday. Haven't done spinach yet. Excuse me. Haven't done spinach yet, so I've yet to try that machine and that process out. But I would assume that it's not too different from doing the beans and the peas. So, you know, like I say, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a Giants hater or a game hater or anything like that. At this moment in time, this game was, in my opinion, not ready for release. There's too many things that are just not quite right with it, that needed quite a bit more work to get it to a very good standard. So if I was to sort of give it, you know, stars out of 5, I would give it probably 2, maybe 2.5. But it wouldn't take much to jump it up to 5. You know, say, because there's some really nice things in it. There's some, you know, really nice features and different things like that, and so but, you know, I do play the game. I've played the game since 2009, when I discovered the game. I was working on the first farm then. I think that was my last year there, I think, or 2010 maybe. I think it was 2009 actually, because I got it in the February of that year, in 2009, and I remember being in the grain store at work, and it was really, really snowy, really, really cold, or it may have been frosty, but it was really cold, I know that much. And because we had our fans flat out, blowing cold air into the grain, and the boss said to me, he said, will you go into the grain store and level it out, and you know, sort of get the grain nice and even on top? And that was what I was in there doing. And while I was in there, all I could think about was this new game that I'd found, which was Farming Sim 2, Farming Sim 09. And I was just thinking about that all day, and it made the day go so quickly, knowing that I could get home and then play Farming Sim. And it was really good. And I remember saying, yeah, because like my dad kind of like realised that I had this new game, and this baler's exceptionally heavy apparently. Had this new game, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Yeah, Dad, it's very basic, but it's not a bad little game, you know." I said, like, I think you could do wheat and barley in it, I think, if I remember correctly. And so, you know, and I said, "Oh, you know, it's very, you know, very basic and very, you know, sort of this, that, and everything else." And I think I've gone by me turning. I think I've gone past me turning. See, busy chatting away, and yeah, and that's where it sort of all started. And then, as I say, later that year, I moved to the bigger farm, and I think it was either February, March time when they saw me ploughing, and then I moved to the bigger farm. And you know, couldn't wait to get home each day to play this new brilliant game, and then eventually, as everyone knows, by 2000 and sort of, well, it started in 2013 when I had the first real bad episode of arrhythmia, which luckily happened at home and not at work. Oh, there we go, look. Yeah, so I had the first real bad episode. Anyway, recovered from it, went back to work, didn't go to the doctors or the hospital or anything like that, you know, and yeah, so recovered from it, and carried on working, and it happened again then, sort of a bit later on. It happened again, and by 2015, I think it was, I had my operation. Because eventually, well, I went for a checkup, and and it, you know, I used to sort of think these checkups are completely, oh dear, you're joking me. Right, once and for all. Where's my mat? Thank you. Once and for all. Oh, I'm already on it. Right, actually, while I'm here, requirement of this baler: 110 horsepower. Fair enough. This tractor, at its lowest, is 160, so still 50 horsepower more. I'm fairly certain mine's the 225 one. And I'm struggling going over this grass with this baler. Honestly. Anyway, so yeah, had my operation and went back to work, and I was just finding work so hard and so difficult, you know, sort of things that I'd been able to do before, you know, at work, I now wasn't able to do, and or you know, or I wasn't able to do very well, or as well as what I'd sort of done before, and so therefore, you know, like as I say, I got to the I got to the end of that, and I got to the end of I can't remember when it was now. I think it was middle of the year, so about June, July time. And as I say, I got to the end there, and I just couldn't do the work. I couldn't get in and out of my tractor without being severely out of breath. I couldn't do anything without being severely out of breath, and in the end I just said to the farmer, I said, look, I'm going to have to, you know, to give my job in, because I can't do it. And then went to Tesco's, sat on the till there, couldn't do that. Then went and did a job where I was just sort of kind of stood around greeting people as they came into the store, and you know, I was struggling with that, and as I say, I gave up my job, started playing farm sim full time, and you know, that was sort of what I, you know, ended up doing. But anyway, I'm going to switch over to some time lapse, and I'll come back in a minute. See you in a minute. Oh, thank goodness for that. That was painful, people. For you, probably no more than about 2 minutes. For me, jolly long time. It was very slow and very painful and very deliberate. But anyway, it's done now, so we don't need to worry too much. Yes, we don't need to worry too much now. So it's done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bale loader, and I'm going to load them that way rather than forking out for a telehandler, which at the moment we don't really need. And come, sort of the new year, we may well have done enough contracts on and off camera, for me to be able to afford one anyway. I don't really want to be taking loans out if I don't have to. I mean, look at this, I'm struggling to get up this bloody hill. Anyway, yeah, so we'll oh, where's the flying sign gone? It's disappeared. Yeah, so as I say, we'll get back to the shop. We'll drop this off. We'll drop this off in the return point, and then take the rower over there, and then we'll return them, and then we'll get, as I say, we'll get a bale loader. There's 40 some odd. Hang on. Yeah, 49 bales there. So there's quite a lot of bales off a bit of ground that I don't think was fertilised or anything. So that's actually produced quite a lot of bales. And to be fair, we ain't going to be running out of bales anytime soon. They ain't going to eat 49 bales over winter. So I think we're going to be okay, hopefully. But there's the field, but we've got to come all this way around. When we own all of the fields here, what we'll do is we'll remove a couple of trees, and alongside or just near the rail track where we come in here, we'll make, along those tree lines, we'll make a dirt track to get to that field, so we don't have to go all the way around, because that's a long old way, that is. Eventually, when we own that field, that will become to the left. That will be another grass field with or maybe even another paddy field. Small awkward fields, we just, crikey, that was a loud woodpecker. We can just change and sort of kind of make more convenient, if you like, rather than sort of mess about trying to farm them and different things, because obviously as the years pass, not now, but as the years pass, obviously we're going to get bigger, and when we get bigger, obviously the equipment will get bigger. Admittedly, most of the equipment will probably be second hand. Well, excuse me, will probably be second hand equipment, but it's still going to get bigger, and we don't need little fields that we're messing about in, trying to farm. So, but anyway, we will get these returned, and then, as I say, we'll get a bale loader, and then we'll go off and load those bales, and then the last job of the day will be, I'm driving away and the trigger's over here. Right, let's get these returned. Return and return. Excellent. Oh, well, that was one thing I wanted to check. No, meadow grass hasn't registered, which is unusual. It's only September. I know it's late September, but right, I need the bloody tractor, James. I'm fed up of this tractor struggling with hills and grass. I'm just going to pull the bloody bale chase around. Be quicker. I can't believe I just did that. Honestly, I bet so many people watching this just look at me, or just look at these videos and think, how on earth has he A, worked on a farm, and B, been playing this game all these years and still doesn't remember to take equipment with him. Never mind. Anyway, we'll get this done. As I say, we'll get over there, and then we will. Excuse me. We will get these bales collected and get them back home, because if we're going to have to do, I would imagine we're going to have to do 2 Do you know what? Unbelievably, I think it's going to leave us 1 bale. If this is 24 bales, 2 loads is 48, and we've got 49. Unbelievable how many times that happens on this blooming game. Anyway, I'll get over to the field. As soon as I get over to the field, I'll start the time lapse and we'll collect these bales. See you in a minute. And I'm back. So that's got the bales collected, and this has now got the grass planted in this field, which is good. And say next episode, that's easy for me to say, we will get this rolled, and then we'll get the fertilizer start sort of being applied to it. I don't play with lime required on. It's just something. Yeah, I have to do it when I have precision farming on. I sort of don't get no choice, because otherwise you can't achieve all of the scores that you want to achieve. But so I do use it for that. But yeah, if it's just general gameplay, I just don't have lime on. I can't be doing with it. But I do have periodic ploughing on. So, but yeah, so we've got that done. And say next episode we'll get that rolled. We will also get some ploughing done in that field, and we'll get those P contracts done. What I'll do is I'll do some of them off camera, and then the rest of them I will, or I'll do 2 off camera, and I'll probably do 1 on camera, or 1.5 or something. And then, as I say, we've still got that field over there to plough, and then you know, winter will be upon us, and then it will be just looking around, scratching around for some jobs that we can find. If I can't find any really interesting contracts to do, then I'll just skip the days, because as I say, there's no point me just sort of doing this for half an hour, just wandering around chatting, you know, sort of about nothing, you know, and there's nothing going on. I don't mind, you know, it's quite nice me chatting, I think, when I'm doing something, because at least you can sort of half listen to me and watch what I'm doing, sort of thing. So that's okay. But I'm looking forward to using the paddy field. That's going to be really good. And you know, growing some rice. You know, that's going to be. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a good thing. It looks very uneven. But yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm sure we can cultivate it anyway, so we might even just run the cultivator through here and get that done. But yeah, as I say, that will be in the episodes coming up. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to leave it here. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.